Hi guys, welcome to Antique Sprinklers. I have a real treat for you today. It's another collaboration video with my friend Kerry from the West Coast, who has that amazing irrigation equipment collection. And it's also what I think is a great topic, and it's the Rainbird Turfbird impact sprinklers. And you know, as most of you know, Rainbird was founded with the invention of the impact sprinkler by Orton Engelhardt, and his partner Clement Lefetre went on to build Rainbird, and they along about the late 1950s decided to create an impact sprinkler that was truly marketed to the large turf market. And so a lot of their stuff was meant for ag, but you know, with the emergence of golf and the needs of, say, athletic fields and places like that, they thought there might be a niche that they could step into with a specific line of sprinklers that had very special features to them. And I have a few before me, and I'll be sharing pictures from Kerry's collection as well, because he has a much more vast collection. And then one of the really cool things you're going to see is how you know, the night water guy on a golf course would have used these things on a quick coupler system. So I think you're just really going to be thrilled by it. And so the Turfbirds were introduced with a 3/4 inch full circle model, the 404, a 3/4 inch part circle model, the 305, a 1 inch full circle model, the 707, and then a 1 inch part circle model, the 605, and the largest of them was 1.25 inch female sprinkler known as the 808. And so roughly these would equate to a Rainbird number 30, a number 35, a number 40, a number 65, a number 70, and a number 80, basically, if you want to equate them to something in the ag line. A really, really cool innovation that they put on these guys, and early on they would add an S to the model number to designate it, but later I believe they switched to using W, and the W was Rainbird's letter for dual nozzled sprinklers that had one of the nozzles plugged. But the S stands for this high-low spray nozzle that with a standard screwdriver, and you'll see the adjustment of it in some of the video, you can actually turn the spray way down or completely off for that rear nozzle. And it's just a really, really cool feature. The other things that they had were sort of stuff that you would see standard on their ag line, you know. So the 605 had that pretty well-known diffuser wire on the end of the lever arm there for breaking up the range spray. And so they you know, as did the 65 of the same era. And one major difference, though, is that for a lot of these, the bodies were actually made out of aluminum rather than bronze. And so in a 605 or a 70, you know, or an 808, I mean, and a 707, that could mean a pound or a pound and a half difference in weight per sprinkler. And I think when you see the demonstration of how guys would go around with these, you'll see why that would make a difference on a golf course where somebody was setting, you know, several of these on an overnight shift. So they're just very cool. Their time period really is focused on the 1960s. I found some advertisements for them in turf management magazines in the late 50s into the 60s, but not really beyond that. I have some fairly early Rainbird catalogs from the 70s, and they're not listed there either. So I think really we can fairly honestly say that they were in production for about a decade. But it's just a really neat idea, you know. They made them out of aluminum, they painted the bodies this green from the factory, and it just really made them stand out from the rest of the line. But they were still incredibly high quality Rainbird impact sprinklers, as you'll see when we get directly ahead here into showing them in production. I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget to point anything else out. I don't know if you can see, but each of these on the range tube here would have Turf Bird on them. And gosh, that's really about it for these. Mostly I'm just excited for you to see the whole range of them operating. They're truly beautiful sprinklers, and we've got some good stuff to show you. So as always, thank you very much for watching.
Good afternoon. We're going to set some Rainbird turf birds as would have been done back in the 60s on golf courses and or parks and other large turf applications. We have a Rainbird 305 PJ here. Here we'll set a Rainbird 305. Adjust the arc and let it go for a second, make sure it's working good. Okay, next. That's a couple of 605s. The reason for the turf bird, they're a little bit of a lower angle. They work better in windy conditions. The big benefit is they were aluminum body. They were a little bit lighter, which made a big difference on the irrigation guy walking around carrying these things all day long or all night long. Set to 605. Move out of the way over so you don't get off that. Slide the pin down. Rainbird 305. At the end of watering, slide the pin, and we'll pull it out. Once again, a Rainbird 605 PJ. Hold the arm open, slide the trip pin up so it becomes full circle, and this will allow the quick coupler key to rotate 360 degrees without getting wet. And this is what guys would do over and over and over on old school manual irrigation systems. This one we're going to get wet. Here we have a Rainbird 305 doing its job watering the turf. Here's a Rainbird 605 PJ. Other turf birds in the background running. Here's a Rainbird 707W with the high-low shut-off nozzle turned off. This provides lower precipitation rate and less close-in coverage.